All right, and welcome back to another exciting episode of Rough Sketch to Final Draft. I am Coach Adam, your host, and today we are going to be talking about life and its journeys and its struggles and overcoming those monumental moments in life. And to do so, I have an amazing guest on today's show that is a special guest, absolutely, to talk about that exact topic. So, Phoebe, if you'd like to go and introduce yourself for our amazing audience, please do so now.
First, Adam, I should say thank you for having me. Um, and also assisting me in getting over some of my fears is to speak to people about what I do or even about myself. My life started, or my joining to the US started in 1980. A little after the assassination of my uncle, which was the president at the time, talking about life, I ended up with a surprise ticket to come to the US.
Yeah.
And I came to this country with 2 suitcases and all the wrong outfits. Liberia climate is like going to the Caribbean or Hawaii.
Yeah.
And not knowing where I was going, I came to, at that time, it was snowing in the States. And I came with all the wrong clothing, summer clothing in the winter. And that's how my journey started in this country. I slept in a car overnight. And because the person that I came to were also stopping with someone else. And as I listened to the conversation, and we all define pride differently. My pride told me that I didn't have to go through what I was going through or listening to. I needed to find my way if I was going to live in the US.
Yeah.
So after spending the night in the car, I had a job, thank God. I decided to travel to different states. That was the beginning. And I was going to find a state that the climate feels and the people behave like where I have come from.
Yeah.
And so when I finally came to California, and I did all of this on a train. When I finally got to California, I said, this is it.
Yeah.
And so I went back to the state that I came to, collected my items, and moved to California. I started waitressing. My first apartment was in someone's basement, and as the Lord would have it, my landlord lived upstairs, and he loved him some Phoebe. So I would go to work. He was like a dad to me.
Yeah.
God, Adam, when I say the blessing from my parents have protected me along the way and continue to protect me,
Yeah.
it's amazing what they did. Their lives, that I ended up receiving the blessing from what they did for other people and other people's children.
Yeah.
So fast forward, California, here we are, married, unmarried, kids, married now to a very nice man. And through my joining, my goal have always been my needs, because that was what my parents taught us. Your need comes before your wants. So I went down this path of securing my need. My need was to become a citizen of this country. I did that.
Mm.
I could get any job I wanted, and whatever the citizenship could provide me. I took that. It was number one on my list. Why I
Yeah.
worked and did odd jobs. And if you see me today, it's like, wow, she did not come from down that road. Yes, I did.
Yeah.
You just have to be strong. You have to believe. You have to know there's something bigger than you, no matter what your path may take you.
Amen.
We went through after the assassination, we were at war for 14 plus years. I went home in 1989, 9 years after I have been in this country, to finally go and visit my parents, even though the country was not at peace.
Yeah.
Not knowing that was going to be my last time seeing my parents and some of my siblings.
Mm.
The phone woke me up one morning and said Mom and Papa was killed. The only question was when. And when my brother began to tell me the Bible was next to my bed, I just pulled the Bible and I wrote it in the Bible. And today, that's where I go to remember the time my parents was killed.
Sorry.
So, and I did not moan. And then 2002, 2002, when I started a nonprofit, which was really a calling. I did not go to school. I didn't to run a nonprofit. I did not plan on running a nonprofit, just how I didn't plan to come to the United States. It's everything in my life had been planned by God.
Yeah.
So I'm walking down the hallway and it hit me, do something. So in 2002, while I am in the process of starting the nonprofit, there go another war again. My sister is crossing the border of Liberia and Sierra Leone, and they kill her. I refuse to believe that. I just refuse to take any more of the bad news.
Wow.
Till 2006, when my family and I was going to deliver a humanitarian container, which was our first 40-foot container to Liberia. My husband said, well, that wooden floor, that hardwood floor you wanted, we are going to put it on hold and the whole family will go with you. So, so we put the hardwood floor on hold and took the hardwood floor money. My husband, 6-year-old twin boys that have been buttoning up used clothing and everything and getting ready for this trip, we took the trip.
Yeah.
We spent our Christmas in displaced camps, handing out food to people that have been displaced in their own country. I would tell anybody, do not go to war. It's a bad place to be. It's bad, and you never get over it. It lives with you as long as you live. I have my parents with me. There are days that I just stop and boohoo. And I'm drenched with tears. You don't want to go to war. So fast forward, we have shipped a couple of containers. And being that I live in the US and I'm helping the women and children that recover from the war, because my mother never did. We provide resources for those women, training to help them survive in the environment in Liberia, West Africa.
Yeah.
We also provide training for the orphans. Today we have sock on the market that the orphans design. We did a little model and train women how to weave fabric from cotton. And so we are looking for a way or a textile company to take that on, just to give back to
Yeah.
what was left behind after my parents, my siblings left
Right.
through this war. Okay. And then I brought it close to home in the US, where we used to have a feeding program. We used to give away toys
Yeah.
during the holiday season to the kids in our local communities, Northern California. And we are growing back up to that in collaboration with other businesses. So when you see me and I'm picking up and getting ready to feed people with Modesto Gospel Mission feed 500 meals a day in collaboration with us, we provide them part of the Panera bread that help them with their meal. And if you go with me, you hear them telling me how they take the pastries and turn it into this and turn it into that. It just make me feel so good knowing that the time and the energy that I'm spending
Yeah.
is really touching lives that I would never see, and they would never know who I am. But through the grace of God,
Hmm.
I'm touching and just being a vessel for people, So that's what I do on a daily basis. And there have been some hard times. I haven't had a time to tell you this, but
Yeah.
I even got carjacked, robbed at a Phantom firework booth, trying to raise money to support our programs. And I still struggle with that trauma. And I am still going through the I would call it evilness of the company coming after me for something that I don't have to give them. They want their money back from a stolen goose.
Nice.
I paid for insurance thinking that it was covered. Found
Right.
out late after my incident, oh, we don't cover nonprofit fireworks. Really, why are you selling fireworks? But those are some of the path that I have traveled and continue to travel. And I just give it to God every day, because He know these things before they happen,
Yeah.
when they happen, and why they happen.
Amen. They help shape who we are and who we're becoming. And if God
Is yes,
is
yes,
directing all these things, and everything that we're actually going through is also helping shape who we become, because that's who we're supposed to become through these trials. Keep going. I agree.
yes, yes. And so that is part of my life history. And I am a product. I always have to tell somebody I am a product of the free slaves. When this
Yeah.
decided they were going to send the slaves back to West Africa or the Caribbean, My grandparents left here and settled in Liberia, West Africa.
Mm.
Little did they know that we were going to end up coming back to the States and we will be able to fit into the American society, because that was one of the reasons. Oh, we'll set them free, but we don't know if they would be able to fit in the American society.
Yeah.
So grandpa and them said, well, you know what? If you're going to set us free, send us back where you got us from. And that's how my grandparents ended up in Liberia. They call us a miracle Liberian. Some people call us Congo people, but the Congo people are the people that came from the Caribbean and returned back to the Caribbean.
Right. Right.
A little bit of history there.
Yeah. No, of course. And anyone that has the geographical understandings, there's a little bit of variance there. Yeah. No,
Right.
I simply I want to acknowledge you, Phoebe, for just all of that share in the truest sense, and we can keep on diving into it. I just want to acknowledge you first off and just share my admiration and respect for you, as I always have. This amazing audience is going to embrace you, and I'm sure that every single one of them is just absolutely holding space for you, as I am for you, with you right now in this moment. I
Thank you.
have had the opportunity and the pleasure of getting a chance to know you, and today is such a better, deeper exploration of what you've experienced, who you've become, and the growth journey that you've been on in your incredible life. And I just want to acknowledge you. I think that you're absolutely one of the most amazing individuals I've ever come across and gotten a chance to interact with. And for the benefit of this audience now and on the internet for all time, in that regard, is just to acknowledge you in the truest way that is absolutely deserving of your life's journeys and your accomplishments that you've done all through every single one of the challenges and concerns and hurdles that have been placed before you. You have overcome them with grace, and you've become an amazing mother, and you've become a business owner, and you've turned your pain into purpose, and you've redirected your life to be able to be a guiding light for others. And I think that's just magnificent. I think that's one of the most beautiful parts about this journey of this amazing soul known as Phoebe in this life. And I would love to continue learning more as we're diving into. So just for the benefit of the audience, how long has it been since you've actually been here in the United States? How far back has this journey been for you?
Oh, I came into the States early 1980.
Okay.
Went back home in 1989 to visit my parents and
Yeah.
siblings because I was gone too long.
Hmm.
And then back there in 2006 with my twin boys and my husband. 2013, I was there by myself. I had taken another 40-foot container. So in the business, when someone tell you that I did take a 40-foot container and successfully deliver it,
Right.
that means you took this container, got it to the port, clear it from the port, and got it to the people that it was intended for.
Yeah.
And that portion of it is not an easy job.
I would imagine. And for the
And
sake of the audience, just as a visualization in that regard, these are the big shipping containers, correct? These are the large ones that we see like on the back of
yes,
large trucks. Okay. Yeah.
the large trucks, the best way to describe it is the one that is connected to the train.
Right.
That's your 40-foot container.
Right.
Yes.
Yeah.
And that container, we had so many challenges with that container. Adam, as God is my witness, I had a dream before I came back to the US
Yeah.
about why the container was being delayed, not knowing that God had his hands on it and wanted the container for the children during the Ebola crisis.
Wow.
And my cousin has said to me that morning after I'd had my dream, has said to me that morning, Phoebe, I know this is your baby. I would take care of everything. And I told her, all I want you to do for me is do the distribution and send me pictures in real time. When
Wow.
I came back to the States, I was so exhausted dealing with the government.
Mm.
I crashed on the couch in our family room for a whole week.
Yeah.
And every time I saw my husband, I apologized. And he said, that's okay. That's okay.
Right.
When I woke up, I went straight to the computer and said, I am going to look for these people at the port
Mm.
that are in possession of our container, because I established a relationship with that company. And when I went online,
Right.
I found that that company had 5 board members in 5 different countries. And I said, this is it. Wrote them an email, had my
Yeah.
husband look at it, told them about everything that I have gone through in Liberia, and sent it off. When I woke up the next morning, they said to me, we understand. We will pay half of your storage at the port. And so I got on the phone and called
Wow.
Liberia and told the company, I said, look, I am ready to send you my storage fee as long as you
Yeah.
stop the charges today. You will have that money tomorrow morning. And the gentleman said to me, yes, I did see the email. And that's how we cleared the container and got it to the children. And I could lay down and look at Facebook and see everything happening in real time. It was amazing that God could take me out of the hustle and bustle and set me over here so I can enjoy the work that we have done and have been doing to get the supplies to the children.
It's
And that's how I see my life. I just look at it not as a down. I look at God just
yeah.
taking me out of some things and saying, Phoebe, I want you to just sit back and enjoy this one.
I love it. I love it. I think
Yes.
that maybe a great question kind of to dive into is where is that for you, Phoebe, inside? What is that? Where does that will come from? What is that what's that inner voice actually driving you towards continuing doing what you're doing? The work that you're doing is amazing. I think that you're incredible, obviously, and so will everyone who ever listens to this, and God bless you on your journey. What is that? Where's that coming from? What is the willpower that keeps on saying, I will keep doing this no matter what, and just at any odds, I will continue to do this? Tell us more about that.
Honestly, I don't know, but I do believe it's something that is bigger than me
Yeah.
that keeps me going.
Hmm.
And normally when I get the opportunity to speak, I just tell people God is in control. There are times that I would choose to give up, and there will either be a phone call, a card in the mail, or a check
Hmm.
that give me the signs that you are not done yet.
Yeah. Hmm. You have a higher
You
purpose and
know,
you are fulfilling it. Yeah. I
yeah,
love that. Yeah.
yeah.
Yes. Well, what kind of direction and guide have you as advice for those who are going through their struggles in their life? What have you learned to keep yourself going through all of this that you might be able to imbue and impart to anyone who's going to listen to this now and in the future?
Don't give up. Keep on believing there's a better door.
Mm.
Because we all fall down.
Yeah.
You have to give up. I mean, you have to get up, wipe it off, and keep going.
Yeah.
Okay?
Yeah.
People may not even listen to your fall. They may not even pick you up when you fall.
Yeah.
And what I tell people, especially my business, I tell people, you know what, if that person doesn't participate, it's because it wasn't meant for them to be blessed through Relief Inc.
Mm.
Because everything, I mean, all of our joining, there are places where God wants for us to be
Yeah.
to receive the blessing that He has for us.
Right.
And so if it wasn't meant to be, you cannot begrudge that person because they didn't participate.
Mm.
You just have to keep on saying next, next, and next. Look,
Yeah.
I have been praying for help and websites that I used to go to for volunteers, I shut them all down. And I
Yeah.
went back to it, and I'm getting all these responses. And then I have to go back to God because I've been praying to God. And I'm saying, okay, Lord, you do the choosing for me. So I know what that right person is because I
Yeah.
have been asking him for his people, not the people that I want. They have to like what I do,
True.
be compassionate about people, and
Mm.
have nothing to do with me. Because if it have to do with me, once they get mad at me, they will take off. But if they're doing it for the business, they're going to stick around. And
Right.
that's how I live.
Great.
And if anybody listening, they say, well, you sound like it's easy. No, it's not easy. It's hard. And over time,
That-
you begin to buy into that because it's paying off your attitude, your acceptance, the people, what they do or don't do, how they respond or not respond at all.
Mm.
I have had people that will make promises they won't keep.
Mm.
Am I supposed to take their burden and put it on my shoulder? No, I have my own. I have my family. I have the nonprofit. I have people depending on me. So I have to keep my shoulder light to carry these other weights that I have of my own.
I love
So
that.
if you begin to believe that, and then you got to learn how, you got to pray. You got to believe that somebody out there love you more than you love yourself. And if they can feed the ants on the ground, they'll feed you.
I love that. I love that.
I
I
mean,
love the
I
humbleness as
came
well.
here, Adam. I
Yeah.
came here, Adam, and I ended up in the tenderloin. What was in the tenderloin at that time? It was drug prostitution. I mean, yeah, prostitution and all that stuff. And
Yeah.
that's why I said to you in the beginning, there's a better door. Thanks to my parents for that. A better door. And I survived all the temptations. But you have to be strong
Agreed.
and
Oftentimes,
believe in,
yeah.
yeah, and believe in your strength. You know,
Okay. Yeah.
you don't, if they don't like you for who you are, they are
Mm.
not your friends.
No. And the strength inner, right? And
Yeah.
oftentimes we're defined on the things we don't. do in this life. Most individuals just simply, in this world, commonly, and it's perfectly fine, safe space for anyone to have this idea, though the truth is always inverted a little bit. It's not necessarily just commonplace, is that what defines us often is actually what we don't do. The heroic idea to define someone as heroic or anything else like that. It's because the hero doesn't act impulsively. The hero doesn't do illegal things. The hero doesn't drink, doesn't do drugs. It isn't just that the hero is only the person that shows up with the red cape to rescue the kitty from the tree or save
Right.
the children from the burning building. It's the things that you don't do that define your true character. So as you were there in the tenderloin and all those temptations, you were defining your character by what you didn't do. The fact that you overcame those temptations by not doing what was there in front of you that might have been easy or commonplace, it defined you and redefined you and your character and your truth and your faith with this life by being able to overcome those things. And I think that's just beautiful. So continue going.
Well, it's been long, it's been painful, it's
Yeah.
been great. Uh, it's like a pot of gumbo, right? You got everything in that pot, and I mean, you take one bite at a time and you enjoy it. I love rice. I grew up with rice, but gumbo on top of some rice, that's
Yeah.
my life.
There you go. It's got to
I'm
be
not
smart.
going to throw up. I'm going to enjoy it.
Spicier gumbo, the better. It's got to be spicy. It does.
Yes.
So let's
You know.
let's let's dive into a bit about what you do now in the business that you do now. What are some of the things that you do facilitate? We've kind of talked about it. We know that we do the outreach and that we're helping people in certain capacities. Feel free to kind of dig into those details a little bit more for the benefit of the audience, because of course, anyone who's listening right now, they have yet to learn, but I'm sure by now that they're absolutely, sitting on the edge of their seat wanting to know more about what it is that you do. So please dive in a little bit more.
Wow, what do I do?
Yeah.
Man, I was hoping that I touch just about everything. Well, I run my household.
Yeah.
I mean, I take care. I mean, I'm the admin for my household. That means pay bills, make sure everybody happy. My twin boys, thank you, Jesus. We don't have I mean, they decided to stay home after college.
Yeah.
So I don't have to worry. I don't have to worry about my boys,
Mm,
and that's another blessing, knock on wood.
right.
I don't have to worry about them, who they're with, and
Yeah.
what they're doing. And then with the nonprofit, like I said, we through our bread program currently we feed every Saturday. That's another collaboration.
Okay.
Through my church. Every Saturday we feed. Then back to the Modesto Gospel Mission. We
Mm,
also collaborate with the Modesto City Schools during Valentine, why everybody giving the kids candy. We came up with a program called Healthy Valentine Basket. And
mm,
that basket is what it is. It's a Valentine basket loaded with toothbrush, toothpaste, mouthwash. Don't forget the bubbles because you're talking about kids. Floss, and we
yeah.
deliver that to the Modesto City School deserving students. These are
Mm,
children that cannot even afford lunch at school. We are doing that, and we partner with HealthNet of San Joaquin that help us make that possible. Um, and we do that as often as we have the supply.
mm,
And I also said that, I'm rebuilding the team now and getting board members and all of that to assist in taking some of the work off my hands. My backyard today, we are working and have been working on creating a community guidance so that way we can either feed people in the community with fresh food
Mm.
because God provided the space. So for years, me and my family enjoy fresh veggies and friends, fruit and all of that.
Yeah.
And now we turn that area into where I don't have to pull the weeds. So we turn it into raised beds and we're
Mm.
working on that. And
Okay.
hopefully this year, by the grace of God, we'll be able to plant some grains. My husband was telling me today, it'd be nice if we had some fresh food that would help our lives. We're getting older. And I'm saying, there we go again. I'm thinking about a community. He's thinking about us. But
Right. 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 Right.
so yeah, those are the things, those are some of the activities that I do during the day.
Yeah.
Also spend time with other nonprofits. Growing. I'm growing as I grow the business.
Mm.
Um, and back to Liberia, we are thinking about raising enough funds to build a school for the women because when they went through the training that we gave them, they were so excited. The fabric they make, Adam, it goes on purse, beds, window dressing. The list goes on and on. And now they want for us to build them a school so they can take that same fabric and begin to sew clothing for us
Mm.
to sell and take that money and put it back um, into the communities.
Wow.
And the
Wow.
tree you see on my car is a cotton tree. And that's where that whole concept came from.
Hmm.
Liberia is not a poor country.
No, not by any
It's
means.
rich, it is rich in resources.
Yeah.
And my brain tells me, why not take what we have in Liberia and turn it into the resources that we need to grow our country, the women that we serve, the kids that we serve. And so that's the plan. When I sat down with this young lady, she has said to me, Phoebe, what do you really want to do? I said, you know what? I really want to empower women.
Yeah.
And that's how that cotton tree came about because we grow cotton in Liberia.
Yeah.
And so that's where that's at. And the spin-off was to start working with the orphans so they become their own little entrepreneurs
Mm.
by creating art in the environment. It comes to the US and we print it on shirts, scarves, uh, sock. The list goes on and on.
Yeah. What a blessing. I am humbled and amazed and just incredibly just overwhelmed with your journey and how much you do. That's why I wanted you to have another opportunity to share with this amazing audience who will listen to this now and in the future. And for any of you who actually are enjoying this content, I always have to be reminded about this. You're doing a great job, fan. We're reminding me. Please like and subscribe down below and leave Phoebe an amazing comment. Tell her how much you love her. It's just incredible, all the things that you have done. And I think that you truly are a exemplar as far as it goes for a pillar in your own community and in this community here in the California area where we've gotten a chance to connect. Your energy permeates the room and your presence certainly outstretches far before you. And when you walk into the room, when we first connected, I certainly understood who this person was. You have a great aura about you, about your business. When you start speaking about it, you light up and your eyes are just filled with light and you're ready to go and you're pouring out your heart about what you're doing. You're passionate about that. I find that that's very important these days. It always has been at the same time, even more and more so as we move into the modern era, that individuals stay passionate with what they're doing. And what you're doing is so humanitarian work, so genuine and authentic in the self-serving and helping others area of being selfless in that sense. But I find that it's incredible that your heart is so passionate about it as well. And I would love to be able to help this growth in your community however you possibly can in the future. Now, you'd mentioned before, as we circle back to about maybe 10 minutes ago, there was websites you used to use to look for people to be volunteers. Is there somewhere that people can find you to reach out to be volunteers or maybe to work with you in some sort of capacity that you might want to tell the audience about now?
Yes, to reach us, you go to Relief Inc.,
Okay. Mm.
ReliefInc.org. That's where you will see our work. And we were just blessed with a group of students that revamped our website. So bear with us. Whatever they left us, we love it. It's better than what it was before, and we want to grow with it. So
Yeah.
that's where we are. You know, it's
Yeah.
like wanting something so bad, and you
Yeah.
finally get it. It's like don't touch it.
No.
That's kind of where we are with our website.
Yeah.
And this was, it was students that were graduating, and it was their last project. And I'm like, okay, the website doesn't look good anyways. As long as they can do this project and get their grades, if we
Yeah.
don't like what they did, then we can change it. But they left us with something unbelievable.
God.
And it may not be unbelievable for other people, but from where we were to where they have us,
Yeah.
it's like having a piece of gold.
There you go. Well, fam, you've heard it. So
Gratitude.
yeah, be kind
Gratitude.
about her amazing website. I'm sure it's amazing, but leave a comment down below when you guys get a chance to look at it. That if you love it, let her know. Let her know. But I think it's
Yes.
fantastic. I think that you're going to see the Rough Sketch of Final Draft community be very inviting and loving and welcoming. This community is incredible for the Coach Adam side of things on the Instagram as well. This has just been one of the best communities that I've ever actually been a part of, let alone being at the head of this, at the helm of healers and those seeking healing. A lot of light workers here who are doing their best to really be there for other people. I work with a lot of coaches and partner up with a lot of individuals. A lot of them have been guests on the show. The amazing Coach Dea, Lulu Lee, who is an amazing mentor of mine in general, and so many others. Coach Cindy, Coach Michelle, so many individuals that we can all just completely enjoy about this, and they're going to embrace you and welcome you into this incredible community. So I have no doubt about that. But at the end of the show, I always like to wrap it up with the ability of having my guest to be able to kind of have the last parting words. And is there anything that you'd like to share now on top of everything else that we've kind of dug into? Maybe to summarize, maybe to paraphrase something for this conversation that's going to be, once it's on the internet, it's on there forever. Is there anything that you would like to leave for maybe the future of anyone that is from your amazing community to be able to hear and remember? A lasting little bit of wisdom that you might be able to share with somebody, or just a topic in general that you want to leave us with before we wrap this wonderful episode, this wonderful conversation up?
Before I go there, I like to tell everyone that is listening, thank you for listening to my story.
Of course.
And Adam, thank you again for the opportunity to be able to share part of my life with your audience. And I think I have said it all. Never give up, no matter what. Never give up. And if somebody tell you no, investigate some more.
Yeah.
And because a door closed doesn't mean that's the end of it. Actually, that's the beginning of something new, something better, something different.
I love
And
that.
I'm saying this because This is how I have lived my life. A little girl in her 20s coming to this big old country
Mhm.
and being able to, wow, rise above a lot of odds.
Yeah.
And if I can do it, and I tell my children this, if I can do it and you were born here, you can do better. You
Yeah.
can do better because you don't have to worry about green card and citizenship and all that other stuff before you begin. Your
Yeah.
beginning started from birth here.
Yeah.
And so that will be what I will leave with. But my gratitude is number one. You have to always be grateful, no matter what.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Well, just gratitude again to you, Phoebe, then, because we love you, and I certainly think the world of you. And I'm grateful that you were an amazing guest to be on this incredible journey of this show. We look forward to having you again, maybe more in the future, and maybe a podcast of yours might be happening down the road. And we are here to support you and your endeavors wherever you go. We are a part of
Thank
that.
you.
This Coach Adam family loves you and thinks the world of you. So we're here to support you wherever we can. And definitely count me in for being a volunteer in the future. So let's definitely make
Thank
that
you.
happen. Absolutely.
Okay.
So, so that I will wrap this wonderful, amazing episode up with our incredible guest, Phoebe. And to you, audience, thank you so much for tuning in as always. Again, if you're finding us for the first time, we welcome you. Nothing in this universe ever happens by accident. And if you're a longtime listener, then thank you again for your patronage. And we love you and we thank you always. And all the links for connecting with this amazing guest will be down below. And thank you again for being a part of us for another amazing episode. Thank you, fam. Cheers.